Kim, and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Be sure and listen to your body during the practice, and if you need to take a break, go into child's pose or some other comfortable resting pose, and just breathe and listen to your breath, because breathing is one of the most important parts of yoga. So let's get into a comfortable seated position, sometimes elevating your hips, either sitting on a yoga block like I'm sitting on, or a bolster, a pillow, a blanket. Elevating your hips above your knees can get your pelvis into better alignment with your spine, but everybody is different, so just whatever's best for you. And once you're sitting comfortably, another tip is if you do have yoga blocks, before we start, you might want to putting one block at each end of your mat, the top and the bottom, for later in our practice can be very helpful. So I'm going to leave one right here for now, and then place my other one here when I move it. So once you're in a comfortable seated position, then think about sitting well. A nice long, tall spine, nice long neck. Sometimes the neck tends to be tilted forward still, so you might want to press your head back against your hand, like you're putting it against your headrest in a car, to get your neck into even better alignment. And your shoulders, you want to roll up, back, and down. And then once you're sitting comfortably and sitting well, let's listen to our breath for just a few moments. And your hands can be palms down for relaxation, palms up for a little more energizing. And try and breathe in and out through your nose to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. And either gaze gently at the floor or close your eyes and listen to your breath. If it's short or shallow, try and lengthen your inhales and your exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe count to 4 on an inhale, 6 on an exhale, just whatever's good for you. Then on an inhale, open your eyes if they're closed, and look up to center, and look over your right shoulder. Look a little further over your right shoulder than you usually would. Maybe do a little nod with your head. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Again, look a little further than you usually would. Again, maybe a little nod. Back to center over your right shoulder. And back to center and over your left shoulder. And then come to center and take your right hand behind you. Bend your elbow, take your right hand behind you, grasp it with your left hand. Do a little shrug, tug to your left, and drop your left ear to your left shoulder. So you get a nice stretch in the right side of your neck. And then gently release and take your left hand behind and grasp it with your right. And then tug your hand a little to the right, maybe even down a little bit. And then lay your right ear towards your right shoulder. Nothing extreme, just a gentle resting position, and take a breath. Again, maybe a nod would feel good. And then release and gently raise your head back to center. And let's do a few big shoulder rolls, inhaling up, back and down, up, back and down. And then change direction. And come to stillness and tense your hands out beside you in your arms and connecting your breath with your movement, using your breath all the way up. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, then take an inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold over to your right side. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left and lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your right side again. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale to center. Last time, fold to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to your left. And inhale to center and alternate reaching up like you're climbing a rope. Really getting a good side stretch. Big, slow reaches. One more, each hand. Good. Then take your hands behind you and clasp them with bent elbows. Then straighten your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your arms up, expand your chest. Inhale, release your arms, bring them around in front and clasp your hands the opposite direction. And do an opposite arch of your back. Then inhale, reach up, down to the mat. And if you're elevated on something, come down. I'm going to place my other block at the other end of my mat. And if your ankles are crossed one direction, cross them the other. Now let's do some waist rotations. Inhaling to the front, exhaling all the way around with your waist. And change direction. Then come to stillness and inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, flat back, forward fold, just as far as you can go. And take a couple of breaths here. And inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up. And stretch your legs out straight in front of you. And flex your feet. Activate your legs with a little bit of tension. And to sit up nice and tall on your sits bones, lift up with your hands off the ground and sit back down. And so you're sitting so nice and tall and long spine that your hands might not even touch the mat when you have your palms flexed. You want to check your neck that it's nice and long, and that you might even want to, again, press your head back against your hand to check your neck alignment. Then inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge your hips, flat back, fold over just as far as you can. And breathe. And inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up and bring your left foot in like you're going to cross your ankles and take your right foot out to the side. So you have like two angles. And on an inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the left and lower your arms. stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Maybe apply a little more pressure with your right hand against your left knee to twist just a little bit more on the exhale. Maybe look back over your left shoulder towards the back of the room a little bit more. Then reverse your twist to the other side. And come back to center, and then switch your legs. Bring your right foot in, take your left foot out. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and lower your hands. And again, we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Maybe try and twist just a little bit more on the exhale. Then reverse your twist. And then come back to center and come up onto your knees. And straighten your left leg. We're going to be mirroring each other. My right leg is straight, but straighten your left leg. And then inhale, reach up with your left arm. Exhale over for gate pose. Then inhale up and over with that arm and hand down to the mat, and reach up and over with your other arm. Really press your foot into the mat, reach with your fingertips, elongate your side. Good. Then inhale back up and over one more time for gate pose. Inhale up and over with that hand and switch knees. And straighten your right leg. Inhale up with your left arm. Exhale over. Inhale up and over with that arm to the mat, and up and over with your other arm. And breathe. Again, really press with your foot, reach with your fingertips. Then inhale back up and over with your left arm for gate pose again. And then inhale up and over back to your knees. And then place your hands on the back of your hips. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then press gently on your hands against your hips and do a gentle upper back bend into camel. And take a breath or two here. Then inhale back up and over into tabletop. And establish a good solid tabletop with your elbows right under your shoulders. Nice long neck, not sunk down or cranked up. Then take an inhale. On an exhale, look over your right shoulder at your right foot. Really stretch your left side. Then back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Really stretch your right side. And back to center. And right shoulder. And center. And left shoulder. And center. And right. Center and left. And back to center. And then on an inhale, lift your head and your tailbone to the sky for cow. Exhale into cat. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling in cow, exhaling in cat. And then come to stillness. I'm going to turn this direction. Come to stillness in tabletop and straighten your left leg. And flex your foot, press your heel towards that back wall as hard as you can. Get a nice calf stretch. And then bring that knee back in and straighten your right leg. And again, flex your foot, press that heel towards the back wall, and take a breath. Then on an inhale, lift your right leg straight up and your left arm straight out. Really reach with your fingertips, press with your heel, take an inhale, exhale, lower them down. Then alternate, lift your right arm, left leg. Really reach and press, exhale down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. And left arm, right leg. Left leg, right arm. And down. And then melt back into child's pose for a couple of breaths. Take some nice nourishing inhales and cleansing exhales. Next inhale, press back up into tabletop and walk your hands up to the top corners of your mat. And walk your knees back so they stay under your hips. And then melt down into puppy pose. Take a few deep inhales and exhales here. And then look between your hands and slide forward onto your stomach for Sphinx pose. And if you're having any back discomfort in Sphinx pose, you can separate your legs a little bit instead of having them close together. And try not to compress your back in Sphinx. And then once you're situated, spread your fingertips apart so you can really grip the mat, and then shrug yourself forward on your pelvic bone a little bit to activate your abdominal muscles, just a little bit more. And then we're going to take a few breaths here so you can do anything you like with your head. You can look around. You can look down, just try not to lower your shoulders. Now on an exhale, lower all the way down and bring your arms back by your side for locust. And locust, we're going to inhale up and hold it for a couple of breaths and then lower down. So inhale up, lift both your arms and your legs and bring your shoulder blades together and breathe. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, up. And down. And then make a pillow for your head with your hands. And bring your feet, your toes together and drop your heels out for crocodile. You can stay still in crocodile or rock your hips. Take such deep breaths that you feel it filling your back and raising your back up. Okay, next I invite you to either join me for some gentle push-ups on your knees, just slow gentle push-ups, maybe 5 to 8 or 10, and then once you're done, going back into child's pose. Or if you want to skip the push-ups, you can go right into child's pose and breathe. And then press up into tabletop and go through for up dog. And then back into child's pose. Inhale to tabletop to up dog, just one smooth movement. Back into child's pose. One more tabletop to up dog. Back into child's pose. Then inhale into tabletop and bring your right foot through for a low lunge with your knee on the mat. And an inhale, go deeper into your lunge. And exhale back into hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more lunge. Exhale back. Then come forward on an inhale onto your right foot and walk it over to the left side of your mat, and then lower your knee to the mat for pigeon. And your back leg can be straight or bent to any degree. For pigeon, you'll get the same effect. The most important thing in pigeon is that your hips are level so that when you lift your hands up off the mat, you don't tip over. So on this side, if you tip over when you lift your hands, once you're positioned, then you want to tuck something under your right hip to balance you. A pillow, blanket, bolster, block. And then once you're positioned, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. If you're not already flexing your right foot, the foot closest to you, and then try and lower your left hip closer to the mat. Nice deep breaths here. Now your next inhale, press yourself back up to pigeon, and then back into tabletop. And then bring your left foot through for a low lunge. And then once you're positioned, inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge. And exhale back for hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more lunge. And back. And then come forward onto your foot, your left foot, and walk it over to the right side of your mat. And lower your left knee down to the mat, or pigeon on this side. And then your back leg again can be straight or bent. But the main thing is try and be balanced so you can lift your hands and not tip over. And if you do, then you want to tuck something under your left hip on this side. And then once you're positioned, inhale, exhale, slowly lower down. And again, make small adjustments while we're here. If you're not flexing your left foot already, the foot closest to you, then try that. You can try lowering your right hip bone closer to the mat. Take another deep inhale and exhale. And then inhale, press yourself back up into pigeon and back into tabletop, and then back into child's pose for a breath or two. And in child's pose, your arms can be back by your side, down by your side, instead of above your head. Then next, inhale, press back up into tabletop. And come down to your elbows. And straighten your legs for elbow plank. And take a breath here. And then let your heels fall to the right and come up on your right elbow for side plank. You could also have your hips on the mat here and get the same effect. Get a nice side stretch. And take a couple of breaths here. Then exhale back to elbow plank. And then let your hips drop to, your heels drop to the left and come up on your left elbow. Or elbow plank on this side. And breathe. And exhale back to elbow plank. And lower your knees to the mat to tabletop. And then bring your right foot through and your left foot through for forward fold. Then bend your knees if you need to. Flat back, hinge at your hips. Inhale, reach all the way up. Little back bend. Exhale. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands heart center. Now let's establish a nice solid Tadasana before we move along, or mountain pose, with your feet about shoulder width apart. Now lift all your toes off the mat. And then just try lowering your big toe by itself first. And then lifting it back up. It's a good toe exercise. You can do it again. And then lower your pinky toes by themselves. And then lower all your other toes slowly as you can, one by one, down to the mat. So you feel all your toes really grounded in the mat. And then come up on your tippy toes and down, so you feel all the parts of your feet.
And then do small circles with your hips around one direction and change direction. So you feel all the parts of your feet supporting you when you're moving. And then come to stillness. And you want a little tension in your legs, nice neutral pelvis, not forward or back. Want your torso long. Lift your arms and inhale like you're reaching for a top shelf in a closet, and then lower your arms. And then your shoulders you want to roll up, back, and down, because that takes your neck into good alignment. To get it even better, try pressing your head back against your hand again. And then the final touch is you want to feel like there's a string lifting out the top of your head, really lengthening your spine. And your hands can be relaxed. Let's take a couple of breaths here and enjoy this strong mountain pose. Okay, and bring your feet a little closer together. And on an inhale, come up on your tippy toes. Exhale down into chair. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Just kidding. I think we're going to do a couple more. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to do one more. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then hold it here. Sit a little deeper. And inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, for the next part, you might want to turn your mat sideways if you don't already have it sideways instead of lengthwise, like it might be, so you can see better, but whatever's comfortable for you. And this is where if you have one or two yoga blocks, try placing them at each end of your mat to be there and be ready for you when you need them. And we're going to start at the top of your mat in Tadasana. Now on an inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, step back with your right leg for warrior two. So we should be mirroring if you're sideways like I am. So you're in warrior two. Check out your warrior two before we move along, that your knee is over your ankle as much as possible, not in or out. Your feet are nice and grounded. There's a little tension in your legs. Arms are shoulder height for warrior two. Then take an inhale. Exhale into peaceful warrior, keeping your legs the same. Then inhale over into extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale over into extended side angle. And exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale over to extended side angle. And exhale. Inhale into high lunge. Exhale over into your version of warrior three, with or without a block. Here it is with a block. We're going to stay here for a breath because it takes a minute to get into it. You can have the block, you can have your hands here, you can have your arms straight for warrior three. Then exhale down into pyramid. This is another good place for a block if you have one. And if you don't usually use one, you could try it. Then inhale, open into triangle. Then inhale back up into warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale over to extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Back to warrior two. Inhale into high lunge. Over into your version of warrior three, with or without the block. Exhale into pyramid. With or without a block. I'm just using a block today. And inhale into triangle, Trikonasana. And inhale back up into warrior two. One more time. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale into high lunge. Over into your version of warrior three. Exhale into pyramid. And open into triangle. Another great place for a block, even if you don't usually use one. Then inhale back up to warrior two. Reverse your warrior two to the other direction. You should be facing, if you're mirroring me, you should be facing, this should be your right leg bent now. And inhale, feet together, arms together, reaching for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, step back with your left leg this time. Right knee bent into warrior two. And again, check your warrior two, your knee over your ankle. Feet grounded into the mat. Strong legs, little tension. Arms shoulder height. Take an inhale. Exhale, keeping your legs the same, peaceful warrior. Inhale over into extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Last time, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Then inhale into high lunge. Over into warrior three. It can be very different on this side. Exhale into pyramid. Inhale into triangle. Inhale back up, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale into high lunge. Over into warrior three. Exhale into pyramid. And open into triangle. One more time. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, high lunge. Over into warrior three. Exhale into pyramid. And open into triangle. Then inhale up to warrior two. Come to center. Take your hands behind your back and clasp them. And take an inhale. On an exhale, straighten your arms, hinge at your hips, forward fold.
Then release your hands to the mat. Reach up with your left arm for a twist. Exhale, lower your left hand to the mat. Reach up with your right arm for a twist. And exhale, lower your right hand to the mat. And then hands on your hips, flat back. Inhale all the way up. And then warrior two, back to with your left knee bent. Then inhale, bring your feet together, your arms together, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Now we're going to do a little balance pose before we move along. Grounding down first into your left foot. Grounding down, bending your left knee so you can lift your right foot off the mat. And then we're going to go to whatever your version of tree is comfortable for you. Tree can be, your toes can be on the mat, kickstanding, barely off the mat, all the way up, anywhere. Just try not to rest your foot on your knee. And you could go up to half lotus. And then once you're positioned, you can grow your branches. You could sway your branches to test your balance. You could look up between your hands if your balance is feeling really good today. Sometimes I like to do eagle arms, taking my right arm over my left. And not today. But falling out is part of it. So, then exhale, release, and shake it out. And then ground down into your right foot, and bend your knees so you can lift your left foot. And then again, it could be very different on this side. And if you're on a soft carpet or something, you could move to a hard floor. It's a little easier to balance sometimes. Finding a drishti, something to focus on, helps. And then find your tree on this side. Again, you could grow your branches, sway. You can look up between your hands with your head if you're feeling really balanced. Then release and shake it out. Then come again to the top of your mat and position your feet for what's best for you for malasana, garland pose, or squat pose. Usually a little further out than shoulder width. Shoulder width distance is a good place to start. And I'm going to inhale, reach for the sky, and exhale, lower slowly down into malasana. And then you can play around with your feet to get good positioning. Maybe move your feet out further away from each other, closer to each other.
Your ankles, your heels can be up, elevated on something if that helps. And then take note of your spine. Is it nice and long? It's really good pose for your spine. And take a few breaths here. Then exhale, release down and just sit down on the mat. And we're going to do a few back rolls. And on one of your back rolls, come to stillness in boat pose or Navasana, either with your legs bent or straight. Just a good place of tension for you with a nice flat back. Then lower down a level. And down another level. Then back up. And then release all the way down to the mat. And position yourself for a bridge pose. I'm going to do a few dynamic bridges first, where when we inhale up with our hips, we're going to lift our arms over our head. So inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, one more up, and down. And the next bridge we're going to hold for a few breaths. So you might not want to take your arms over your head, but you may want to roll your shoulders under your back and clasp your hands if that's comfortable for you. So inhale up and breathe. And on your next exhale, if your shoulders are tucked under your back, untuck them, and then slowly come down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then bring your legs straight above your head and your body and for waterfall. And I say you should do this every day. It's such a good inversion, simple inversion to get your blood pumping a different direction. So this is your waterfall for today. So point and flex your feet. Do some small circles, one direction. And change direction. And come to stillness and try and face the soles of your feet together and away from each other. Together and away. Together and away. And I didn't mention, if you need some support under your hips here, you can put your hands under your sacrum at any position that helps support your legs. Then let's do big slow bicycles, one direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness, and with your legs together and your feet together, do small circles, one direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness and give your legs a good shake for a few breaths. And then come to stillness. And bend your knees and place your peace fingers between your big toe and your second toes, or happy baby. You want to try and pull your knees into your armpits. Then you can rock or stay still. You could have your knees bent, or you could have your legs straight. You could have one leg with a bent knee, one straight leg. Just play around. And breathe. Then bring your knees and legs together for hug knees. You could either hug tight knees and stay still and breathe. Or you could do a looser hug knees, hugging your shins, holding your shins, and you could massage your back with small circles. If you're doing circles, change direction. Then come to stillness and keep your right knee hugged to you and straighten your left leg. And alternate, hug your left knee in, straighten your right leg. Alternate, left knee right, leg straight. I'm sorry, I said it completely opposite. Then alternate. Alternate. And alternate. And then bring both your feet to the mat and take your left ankle on your right above your right knee, and then decide what's best for you for reclining figure four, either reaching behind your thigh or reaching through to your shin for reclining figure four. So you want to, if you're grasping your shin, then press your shin up towards the ceiling a little bit more once you get positioned. And if you're not flexing your feet already, flex your feet and breathe. Then release your right foot to the mat and switch. If your left foot on the mat, right ankle above your left knee, and then decide what's best for you, either grasping behind your thigh or through to your shin. You want your head on the mat, neck nice and relaxed. Flexing your feet and breathing. And release your foot to the mat. Place both of your feet on the mat. And then lift your hips up and shift them to the right and then lower them, because that gets your spine in really good alignment for a twist. And then straighten your left leg. Take your right knee across for a twist. And straighten your right arm perpendicular behind you. And try looking over your right shoulder a little bit more. Try lowering your right shoulder a little closer to the mat. And breathe. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Roll back onto your back again. And with both your feet on the mat, lift your hips up. This time, shift them a little to the left and set them back down. Straighten your right leg. Take your left knee across for a twist. And take your left arm perpendicular behind you. And again, make small adjustments. Try and look a little bit more over your left shoulder. Try and lower your left shoulder a little closer to the mat. Then roll back onto your back. And straighten your legs full length, and your arms full length above you. And on an inhale, do a full body stretch. Inhale, stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, release. You can either keep your arms up above you or bring them down beside you for a very short Shavasana. And just try not to think about anything for the next few moments. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. And you can either stay in Savasana for longer as we close, or you can roll over onto your side with me. And assimilate your practice. Thank your body for doing yoga today. And then come up into a nice, comfortable seated position, unless you're staying in Savasana. Feel free to. I hope you feel great and have a wonderful rest of your day, and to see you again. I appreciate any comments, questions, or feedback you may have. And do hope to see you again. Namaste.